13th Amendment to the Constitution of 1973. This amendment was passed on the 1st April 1997 during the second term of Nawaz Sharif. And this amendment was basically passed to reverse certain acts or certain amendments that were introduced through 8th Amendment in 1985. And actually through 8th Amendment, by using number of articles, the powers of president were increased enormously, and you can say that the parliamentary nature of the constitution was scrapped, and some sort of presidential system was made in the country. So through 13th Amendment, all those acts were scrapped, and when this amendment bill was presented in the House on the 1st April 1997 by the then Parliamentary Secretary on Law and Parliamentary Affairs, Syed Zafar Ali Shah, it was unanimously passed by both houses by 190 to 0. That's 190 votes were in favor of the bill and no vote was cast against the bill. And this amendment was welcomed by both sections, both by government and opposition. While supporting this amendment, the Prime Minister of Pakistan at that time said that it was important to strengthen the democracy. So to strengthen democracy, it was necessary to restore some of the powers of Prime Minister. The leader of opposition at that time, Ms. Benazir Bhutto, also supported the bill, and she said it is a moral victory for everyone who has raised his voice for the supremacy of parliamentary democracy in the country. President Farooq Lagari also supported the bill, and with the support of opposition and the president, the government at that time was able to pass the 13th Amendment bill. Now let's see what was amended through this amendment. Almost 4 articles were amended in this amendment. First, article number 58 was amended, and the article 58 2b was deleted. The article 58 2b was introduced in the Constitution of 1973 through 8th Amendment in 1985. This was originally not present in the Constitution. Rather, this article was introduced through 8th Amendment in 1985. And by using the powers under the 58 2b, president could dissolve National Assembly at any time if he feel that the parliament is not having the confidence of people. He could call the electorate for the election of new parliament. So in this way, the president had the discretionary powers to dissolve the National Assembly and dismiss the cabinet and the prime minister. Previously, by using this power under 58 2b, 4 governments were continuously dissolved in Pakistan. In 1990, the government of People's Party was dissolved, and then in 1993, the IGI government was dissolved by the president, and in 1996 the government of People's Party was dissolved, and then in this way, when 4 continuous governments were dissolved by the president using this power, hence all parties in the parliament were not in favor of this article, so it was welcomed by both sections, both government and government and opposition section. So, and the next amendment was the amendment in article number 101 in the subclause 1. After amendment, the word after consultation was substituted by the word on the advice of. So before amendment, president had the discretionary power to appoint the provincial governors, but after the amendment, now it was binding on the president to appoint the governors on the advice of the prime minister. That is, now the power was shifted to the prime minister, that he had the power to nominate the governors of the provinces, and president was bound to appoint them. And the next amendment was made in article number 112. Under Article number 112, the governor had the power to remove the provincial assemblies. Now, after amendment, the Article number 112 in this subclause 2b of the Article number 112 was removed, and this removed the discretionary powers of governors to remove assemblies. And now the most controversial one was the article number 243, the subclause 2c. Before the amendment, according to the article number 243 2c, the president had discretionary powers to appoint the joint chief of staff, chief of army staff, chief of naval staff, and chief of air staff. But after the amendment, he had to consult the prime minister. So in nutshell, by using this amendment, or through this amendment, the powers of president were curtailed and the powers of the prime minister were increased, because after the amendment, the power of president to dissolve the National Assembly and the cabinet was removed, and the discretionary power of president to appoint the governor was scrapped, and now he was bound to follow the advice of prime minister for the appointment of governors. And the power of governor to remove the provincial assembly was removed, and now he could not remove the provincial assemblies unless recommended by the chief minister of the concerned province. And before amendment, president had the power to appoint chief of army staff, chief of naval staff, and chief of air staff. But after amendment, the president was bound to follow the advice of the prime minister for the appointment of joint chief of staff, chief of army staff, chief of naval staff, and chief of air staff. Thank you for joining. Take care. Goodbye.